G'day, welcome back to part 2 of my millie attachment build. Before I get started, I'd like to suggest that if you haven't seen part 1 yet, you go back and start there. You'll find a link up there at the moment. So I'll show you what I've been up to and we'll get on with that. Follow me just here. Alrighty, so this is the state of play. When I left you at the end of part 1, I just finished machining all this up, and I've machined up this thing and made it an interference fit, Loctited it in. I still haven't fixed it in there yet, but I'll get to that. I have drilled and tapped this M10, and I said, you know, we wouldn't be able to use this unless I could cut a hole through there, and that I annealed it and was hoping that it would soften enough to do it. Well, I'm pleased to say there's a hole in there now, and it worked. I only annealed the centre part here. It didn't warp it much, so I might have to run the fly cutter over it again just to true it up a little bit more. I used my magnetic drill stand, and if you haven't seen the build for that one yet, you can see that up top at the moment. There's a link there. Created a few problems in it. It was creating a lot of swarf and clogging everything up. In fact, I haven't even got the tip out of here yet. I was hoping to film this, but it kept clogging it up all the time, and I would stop and clean it all out and then have to realign it all, and I just cut a little bit at a time and measure how deep it was, and I could see I was getting closer and closer, and I thought I'll make one more cut and then I'll drag the camera out and I'll video the last cut. But then all of a sudden it was big and it just dropped through, so there you have it, it's done, it's all finished. And all I had to do with this to make it fit in there was I polished the hole up a little bit with one of these. It's a bit old, that one. I could do with a new one, just like a little flat wheel thing. And I put this in the lathe and just polish that up a bit more, and Bob's your uncle. Good old Uncle Bobby, fits in there like a dream. To lock it in place, this is just the centre out of another hole saw, and I always keep them because you never know when they come in handy. And that's an M10 bolt, and it just fits up in the bottom here. It locks up really solid, won't go anywhere. Come on, get in there. Like I said, a bit more hair around it. That's it, we're rock solid. So that's a winner, that one. So I'm not sure what the next step will be. I haven't added the extra piece on the bottom yet. I might do that next. But it's already lunchtime, because I had a pretty late start. It was my birthday yesterday and I was feeling a bit dusty this morning. But anyway, we'll get on with this. Yesterday, just after I finished videoing, I was thinking about what I wanted to do next. I suddenly thought, well, I went to all the trouble of making the spindle brake so that I can mark things that need graduations on it, and if I'm going to rotate this thing, then it would be nice to have some graduations on it so that you can tell at least roughly where I am. So I worked out roughly where the chuck sits on it when it's pretty much straight up and down, and I marked the top of the attachment, and then I marked this so I knew where to start. I've yet to mark 40, so I'm going to mark round to 90 degrees in 10s, and then I'll mark it in 5s. And this will take a very long time, because that's 90 marks around this way, and then I'm going to go back the other way and put 90 marks back around the other way, and it will take quite a long time, so I'm not going to bother videotaping this all. So I will show you what I do. So all I do is I move it in, I make contact with it lightly, I back it out, turn it in, cut the tenths, wind it through, back again, cut the tenths more, and go through it again. We lock this thing in place. Go through it again. We bump the camera then. Unlock the spindle brake, turn it around another 10 degrees to where I want it, lock it in place again, and then start the process all over. Now I'm going to have one problem. When I get to the 5 degrees and 1 degree marks, I don't want to go all the way across with them, and by rights they should be coming in from this side. So I don't know how I'm going to go about that, because the only tool I've ground up for marking these is meant to go that way, not this way. So we'll see, and I'll bring you back later when I get a lot closer to finishing this off. Well, when I said this would take a pretty long time, I didn't think it would take as long as it has. It's been 3 or 4 days, because I had to take half a day off to go and see the knee surgeon, because I've been having trouble with that knee replacement, and I've been crook ever since. In fact, I thought I had the Rona at 1 stage 0. I woke up one night feeling really hot and sweating profusely, even though the air conditioning was running. And to top that off, when I did the first lot of 90 degrees, and then I came back and then I did the second 90, and then I came back and I started trying to mark the 1 degrees, and unfortunately the markings for 1 degree don't reach down far enough, and I was having to eyeball it against my little indicator here, and I did 2 lots and they were just all over the place, and I wasn't happy with it, so I machined it off and started again, which was a bit of a hassle. But anyway, so I'm at the stage now where what I need to do is remove all of that brake, fire this up, and just run some sandpaper around this while it's spinning up, just to get rid of all these little dags and everything off it. And then I'll put some black fingernail polish. And black fingernail polish isn't just for goths. It's great for doing this sort of work. So I'll let that break off there, and we'll do all this other stuff. As you can see, they've come up pretty good. So I'll dig out the black fingernail polish and we'll give them a touch up. Like I said, not just for goths, but when you boil it all down, all fingernail polish is a bit of lacquer. So just put a bit in there, right around there like this, touch them all up, and leave it to dry for a while. Let it make sure it's completely dry, and then just hit it with the sandpaper again, and they come up pretty good. I'll bring you back when we're ready to do the sandpapering. Alrighty, I'm hoping this is dry enough now, and we'll see. We'll give you the shits if it all comes off. It's gotten into these grooves here. That's no good. I have to keep working at it till I get rid of that. Oh, bugger me. That's taking some getting off, isn't it? Oh, geez, that gets hot. The risk is I'll take too much off. Still a bit round this edge here. I didn't get a very good finish on this, and when I machined it up, and I don't really know why, but I wasn't all that fussed about it. But it's coming back to haunt me now. Well, I better not work that too much more. I'll have none left. Just find a little bit, something a little finer, and polish it up a little. Oh, in all honesty, I think I can probably live with this. It's not 100%, but let's face it, it's better than nothing. So basically what I've got is, I've got it marked on the face here where you can't see it at the moment, but that's 0 there. So it's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, etc. And then coming back this way, it's 5, 10, 15, 25, 30, etc. Now I do have some number stamps, so what I'm going to do is mount this up now. I'll put the milling attachment back on, mount this up to it, and I'll number stamp all of this. Okay, so this is the state of play. Whatever's been knocking me around is still knocking me around, and I've got very little done over the last 2 or 3 days. I've marked all of this now, so it's marked all the way around to here, 90 degrees, all the way around to here, 90 degrees, plenty in 10s, 5s, and I've marked the 45 there and there. I got it a little bit wrong, because I was hoping when this was pretty much straight up and down, the 0 would be just about absolutely in line with the top edge of this, so I could just put a little chisel cut or something in there to line it up with, but I'll have to make a pointer up now. But anyway, that's how that's worked out. I've added the plate in underneath the bottom here to lift it up a bit, but it's still got height issues, and I'll move the camera and I'll show you what I mean. So even with this lifted up the extra 3/8, the centre line is about here, and it is about roughly in line with the centre of the spindle. But with this mounted up there, it's a long way below the centre of the spindle. But I've been thinking what I can do is take that bolt out of there, those two bottom ones, move this up, put them back in, use this slot up here, and then make two small clamps that just use the bottom bolts but clamp down on top of this rather than going in a slot, which can get me up to there. That way when I machine something, well, that way so you can see it better, but I can move it around to X amount of degrees, it'll be about on the centre line. So that's where I'm at, and I'm still feeling so tired and run down, I'm not getting much done, but we'll get there eventually. Alrighty, had a small problem the other day, and I was drilling something in the vise with an 8mm drill, and it tore it out, snapped it in half on me. Went down the road before to buy a new one and came across this. Truly the most interesting looking grind I've ever seen on a drill in my life. You'd never be able to replicate it, but they call it ultimate self-centering drill. You can get a little, it's got flats on the end for driving it. But I've just drilled 3 holes in there, and I've also already made one of these, and it's a little bit rough. It bounced around a bit, and I'm not sure whether it was only because I only had 2 bolts holding this vise on. But we'll fit this up and see if it makes any difference to the second one. One for the other side. Drill down might make life a bit easier. Clamp that end of it. Make one for the other side. Alrighty, here we go. Well, that's that. It does vibrate a bit, but when you consider that that workpiece is a good 60mm out in front of the slide, it's going to have some sort of rigidity problems, I guess. Let's bring it over this way and get it out of there. Looks like the drill's a bit bigger than the mill, but anyway. I'll just give that a light touch it with a file, and that'll do me. And it's much better than the way I would have done it before, which is, oh, sorry, I think you can see I had it too high. Better than it was before with a file. So that's then. You're probably hearing my voice. I'm still not well, and it's been dragging on now for 2.5 weeks. Everything on here is starting to go rusty because I've done absolutely nothing for more than a week. I know I promised I was, or intimated that the goal of this video was to get that C channel or U channel on there and machined up, but I've decided I'm not going to use that piece anymore, and I'm going to use a longer piece that I bought, and I'll leave that for when I make the video for the mill. But in the meantime, while I've been off crook, a couple of things have showed up. This 2.5 or M2.5 tap finally showed up. I ordered 2 of them. It's taken nearly a month for them to get here. And some supposedly carbide end mills have showed up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mill this bit of 1/2 inch square off to accept a carbide tip, and then I'll drill and tap it, and I want to use that for facing on here when I finish getting everything ready. So let's get on with that. Like I said, you're probably hearing my voice. I really do feel like death warmed up at the moment. I really want to wrap this video up. check. You see that's following the line I've got scribed on there. Hard to see with this camera in the way, but looks pretty good. As luck would have it, the right depth is about the top of that jaw there, so pretty much there, I think. I think that might do me. Yeah, to tip and check it. Yep, that'll do me. Alrighty, so I've drilled a 2mm hole in here. The tapping size for M2.5 apparently is 2.05, which I don't have. And I'm going to have to use my old tap handle because my nice new, this old Tony copy won't close down that small. And hoping like hell I don't break this tap. And then want to start in there. Actually, what I was thinking about doing, and I think I might do, is go and drill just right at the beginning of the hole a little bit of a 2.5mm hole just to help start it. See if that's going to make a difference or not, because I don't want to break this tap. Jeez, I don't even want to start in there. That's unbelievable. It's very hard to read what it says on here, but it says M2.5 on the packet. That's what it says on there, M2.5. At least I think that's what it says. It's pretty small. And I can't measure it because it's got 3 flutes, so it makes it hard to measure. Well, I think I'm going to have to hunt down a different drill for this, maybe a fractional size, because I'm not going to get 2 point something here. It just won't happen. Leave it with me. Well viewers, this is going to be a disappointing way to end the video, but I've just dragged out my magnifying glass and the other tap, the second one, because I can't find the packet for the first one. And upon closer inspection, these things are M3 taps. They're not M2.5 at all. And I went back, I checked my order. They definitely ordered M2.5. And I'll see if I can't zoom this up in the editing so you can see it. But very hard to read on there, but it definitely says M3. The 5 I could see on there is a 0.5 pitch. But anyway, so if you've enjoyed this video, it's a disappointing way to end it. How about a big thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already done so, and I'll see you in the next video. So it's bye bye for now. Thanks for watching.